Hi everyone, welcome back and Happy New Year. I'm excited to record some new content for you in 2021. So to start things off, I want to teach you guys how to diagnose your own issues, just so you know exactly what you'll have to work on mainly, and to give you guys some feedback during practice, just to see if your practice is actually effective. I know there's a ton of information out there, so having the ability to pinpoint what your main issues are is very, very valuable. So this video will be your roadmap. And like always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to see more golf-related content. So the key to identifying your issues is to understand why the ball curves the way it does and why the ball starts in certain directions. Once you can understand these things, then it's much easier to identify what the main issues are, and it's much easier to start to systematically fix things rather than jump from one idea to the next. So here is a great way to discover what your pattern is. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need to do is just set up a very simple station. I just use an alignment stick here. You can use any straight object. If you don't have an alignment stick, you can definitely use just a golf club. I just put this kind of alignment stick right in front of my ball in line with the intended target, and you'll just have to imagine this line extending maybe 150 yards, 200 yards down the range. So you'll just be using this kind of as reference when you're hitting balls. So when it comes to determining what your ball flight pattern is, there's three questions you'll have to ask yourself. The first question is to determine where the starting direction of the ball is relative to your target line. It's important to note that the starting direction of the ball is always determined by where the club face is aiming as you strike it. If the ball is starting to the right of your intended target line, that would mean that the club face is pointing to the right. If the ball is starting to the left of your intended target line, then the club face is closed at impact. The second question you'll have to ask yourself is which way the ball curves. So as a right-handed player, if you're finding that the ball is curving from left to right, then that would mean that most likely your club path is too many degrees from out to in. And reversely, if it's curving from right to left, then it's most likely that the club path is too many degrees from in to out. Okay, and the third and final question you'll ask yourself is the ball curving on the target line, or is the ball curving beyond the target line? So the severity of the curve will give you some feedback as to what the relationship is between your club face and the club path. So I hit some shots earlier to give you guys some examples of some common ball flights that I see with a lot of students that I teach, and I thought it'd be a great idea to explain them just so you know why they happen, to improve your understanding of things. So the first example would be a pull slice. So that's a golf ball that starts to the left of the target and then fades back towards the target but beyond the target line. Like I was talking about earlier, the first thing that you'll want to ask yourself is where is the ball starting? So in this case, if it starts left, that means that the club face as you strike the ball is pointed left. Now the second thing that you're going to want to ask yourself is which way did it curve? So in this case, it obviously curves from left to right. Now if it curves well beyond the target line, that means that the path of the club was much more to the left than where the club face was aiming. Golfers who demonstrate this pattern tend to be the players that swing the most out to in, or the most degrees from out to in. The second example would be a ball that starts relatively straight at the target, but then fades or curves away from the target line to the right. Since the ball started fairly straight, that would mean that the club face was fairly square to your target at impact, and since the ball faded off to the right, that means the path of the club was more to the left than where your club face was aiming. And the amount it curves will depend on the severity of the club path. And the last example is a ball that starts straight at the target but then hooks severely to the left. So again, since the ball started straight, we know that the club face was square at impact, and since the ball is curving in the opposite direction from right to left, we know that the club path was traveling from in to out, or more degrees from in to out than where the club face was aiming. So if you can understand why your ball does what it does, then it should be relatively easy to identify what needs to change in order for you to acquire your desired ball flight. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gives you a reference on how to diagnose your swing. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and be sure to follow me on my Instagram at Jonathan K. Moss. But other than that, I will see you guys next week.